Well, hello, it's me, Alicia, Reverend Alicia Leslie, uh, with a video tonight. It's a mundane mystic live. It kind of supposed to be 5, but it's kind of 9:05. Pretty busy in my life. Ah. Anyway, um, I think I'm having a hard time getting started because of the importance of what I have to say. I want to talk about something like I told you before. I warned you will probably scare your pants off, so hang on to them, okay? Uh, I'm not going to jump right into it. I got to kind of work my way into it. One of the things that certain people are saying lately are, were you happier? Are you better off now than you were 4 years ago? And I say, on one level, absolutely. On the other level, I say I am deeply frustrated because of the changes that need to be made and we are struggling to make, but are having difficulty making because of the division in our government, the division. And unless we do some serious changing, it's not going to stop. But I am still happier than I was. I'm better off than I was 4 years ago. And even beyond that, to make it as short and sweet as I can, back, let's see, many years ago, 2015, Donald Trump came down the golden elevator. And at the bottom were a bunch of people that he coerced to be there, paid to be there, and some of his supporters. And he said he was going to run for president. In the very essence of my being, I had a sick feeling. It's like I knew one day we would be where we are today. It's taking a lot for me to say this because I do not want to insult any of my Republican friends. I do believe that a lot of times we're just misguided. And to be perfectly honest, I think it was Al Gore that said that the reason we don't have change we want is because it is inconvenient and uncomfortable. What I'm going to ask you to do tonight will make you uncomfortable. And then Scott Peck said that what's behind all sin is narcissism and laziness. Narcissism is thinking of yourself first and always. Laziness is just not bothering to get it done. We need to stand up now. It's been very easy to put our hands over our eyes, but with the election just 5 months away, and a lot of stuff going on out there, I urge you to hear what I have to say tonight. I know I really like to be funny. I really like to make people laugh and want to watch what I'm doing. And I got to tell you, this is really hard because there's a lot of people that don't believe what I believe and what I think. And so I just have to share with you straight up what's on my heart. What's on my heart tonight is Project 2025. Now, what is Project 2025? If you haven't heard of it, you haven't been paying attention. You got to get out of the void and wake up. So this says the plan is called, I'm reading it because there's so much I can't get it all out. I'm going to try to skip right through it as fast as I can. The general election is, it says, still about 4 months away, and latest polls are showing incredibly tight race. Lord Almighty, that it is a tight race just blows my mind. I mean, we've got on one hand a liar. He's been convicted. They call him Teflon Don for good reason. He manages to slip out of everything. He's dishonest. Uh, do I have to go on? I'm sorry. Please don't turn me off. Please don't turn me off because what I have to say is important to you. It's important to me. It's important to our children, our grandchildren, the planet, and everything else. So I'm sorry I'm stumbling through this so much. This is really, really hard. Um, so the thing is, what exactly is Project 2025? Simply put, and I'm reading, simply put, Project 2025 is a massive 920-page document, 920 pages. Laziness and narcissism, you can't be lazy when you got to attend to this. Inconvenient and uncomfortable, yeah, reading it or at least getting the best information you can about it is really important. Anyway, it outlines exactly what the next Trump presidency, would look like. This doesn't just include policy proposals like immigration actions, educational proposals, and economic plans, but rather a portrait of the America that conservatives hope to implement in the next Republican administration. I don't want to leave it at just Republicans. I think it's far, far, far to the right Republicans because I know a lot that this document would curl their hair if they would listen. So if you're one of my dear Republican friends and you're hearing this, I pray to God you will listen. Okay. So anyway, let's see. The document is a thorough blueprint for how exactly to carry out such a vision through recommendations for key White House staff, cabinet positions, Congress, federal agencies, commissions, and boards. The plan goes so far as to outline a vetting process for appointing and hiring the right people at every level of government to carry out this vision. Now, what is meant by right people is loyalists. A piece of this document says that they can go in and wipe everybody in the federal government out, just fire them, and put in loyalists with that don't have the education or experience or the consciousness to do this. Okay. Um, it says that there's four areas that and they don't sound that bad. So when you read it in the beginning, you go, restore the family as a centerpiece of American life and protect our children. Dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. Don't listen to that. Defend our nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. And secure our God-given individual rights to live freely, what our Constitution calls the blessings of liberty. Now let's go back and take another quick look at that. Restore the family as a centerpiece of American life and protect our children. What does that mean? If you were to delve deeply into what they're talking about, it's not a good thing. I was in a very bad marriage, and my children and I still have the scars from that marriage. I was trying to be a good Catholic girl. I was trying to do everything right. That marriage should have ended way earlier before we could all get so wounded by it. Dismantle the administrative state and return self-governance to the American people. You know, folks, we came to have a government because we needed to have people that were experienced, educated, specializing in all different areas: science, finance, um, peacemaking, everything. Excuse me. Experts, but they want to go in and wipe that out. And if you think someone that thinks that electric boats are going to electrocute the people and windmills um, are causing problems in the environment, and I forgot what he said, killing animals or whatever, that doesn't believe in climate change. Seriously, we're sitting in the middle of one of the hottest summers ever, and it ain't going to get any better unless we change. I'm not saying everybody has to do anything my way or our way, but we have to do something better than we have been doing. Um, You know, they talk about the man who was laying at the Basada at the healing pool. Now, once a year, an angel would make the pool bubble up, and the first one in got saved. And Jesus talked about a man who was laying by that pool for 38 years. And so Jesus said, why haven't you, you know, made it to the pool in all these years? And he said, well, there's no one to put me in the water. And Jesus said, do you want to be healed? And the man said, yes. And then he said, pick up your bed and go. That's what we have to do, folks. We've got to wake up, pay attention, learn, educate ourselves so we will be prepared for a better future. And we will not fall subject to the insanity of the current threat to our democracy, which is the MAGA. MAGA is not about making America great again. So if we look at about, like uh, restore the family, families families are groups of people who come together in mutual support. Two people come together, they get married, they have children, they adopt children, however they have children, and everybody learns mutual support, and they practice a good life, you know and then just defend our safe nation's sovereignty, borders, and bounty against global threats. You know what? Every person in the world is not a freaking threat. Other people in the world, we want to know them. We want to learn about them. We are all one. We're on this planet together. It's a biosphere. It's an ecosphere. And in order for this to stay together and to stay healthy and alive, we got to do it together. And we got to do it with the people in China and in India and Italy and all these wonderful places. It's a sad thing that's happened in more recent years where people don't travel like they used to. You know, you should travel. When you travel, you get to meet more people. You get to love more people. And the more you get to meet people and love people, you understand we're all one. We want the same things. We want to be loved, appreciated. We want food, clothing, and shelter and security. We are not meant to be alone. We are meant to be number one. You know what? We're all number one. We're number one as individuals, but when we're all number one as a greater whole, that's where the power is. And you know what? And I'm hardly getting to, I'm going to go over because I've tried to do it in 15 minutes. That's not, you can't do that with Project 25. I want to tell you about why we should be worried. And again, I'm reading. Okay, there is a magazine called The New Republic. Project 25 is a remarkably detailed guide to turning the United States into a fascist paradise. The primary document of Project 2025, the magazine explains, lays out what is essentially Christian nationalist vision of the United States, one in which married heterosexuality is the only valid form of sexual expression and identity. All pregnancies will be carried to term, even if that requires coercion or death, and transgender and gender non-conforming people do not exist. This is insane. If I have done a lot of reading, someone very near and dear to me is in transition right now, and that they did everything in their power to make sure that this was in fact real and this was happening. And it took great courage to do that. It's very dry in here. Um, you see, there's many reasons why they're homosexual and transgender and if you've what is that other word? Hermaphrodite. Hermaphrodite has both organs for everything. We're people. We're people first. And every person has their right to live as freely as they want. This will not let you. Okay. Um, sorry. It's a terrifying vision of what American life could look like. But what's most concerning about Project 2025 is it is the playbook for the first 180 days of a hypothetical second Trump term. The time is short and the conservatives need a plan, the playbook states. Excuse me 1 minute. I'm going to try to pause this because I am trying to cough very bad. I don't know. Hopefully I'm paused. I'm probably not. I'm figuring. Anyway, um, okay. So the project will create a playbook of actions to be taken in the first 180 days of the new administration to bring quick relief to Americans suffering from the left's devastating policies. We do not have devastating policies. Okay, I'm not going to try to go on because my tickle in my throat is getting worse. I'm going to ask you to please read this. I'm going to put a link to this article, but all you have to do is Google Project 2025. I know you probably don't want to read the 900-page document. Read what you can. Read the headline, the highlights. Um, Golly, I think everybody in the world, one of the first things they should do. I am a Christian minister. I am a New Thought Christian, and I believe that all faiths seek the one God. All faiths. And I don't think that we should call ourselves. Don't you think Buddhism and Islam, and don't stick your nose up at Islam until you know much about it. The I think the most important thing people could do is take a course in world religions. I mean, to me, that is really, really, you would learn so much and you would understand we're all the greatest. You know, uh, golly, there was so much I didn't get to, and I apologize for that. But I gotta go. I'm off time. Forgive me for this very scattered uh, this very scattered presentation tonight. Just please hear me. Please pay attention. Um, do you want to be healed? I go around the campground and I tell scary stories. The good thing about the scary stories is they usually have a good message and a positive outcome. My friends, if we don't wake up and pay attention, this will not have a good outcome. Oh, where is God in this? God is everywhere. We are here to learn, and we're not doing a real good job of it. As long as there's so many people who have fallen for anything that one human being says and made that one human being their God, it's up to us. We are God's hands in this world. We are the miracles that we desire. What can you do? Speak your truth with love. Get the word out. Vote. Vote for what you absolutely believe. If you believe that all the things that Donald Trump is saying, and there's no way around it, I sure wish you'd think again. But if you can't, do what you got to do. There's a chance you'll never have a chance to vote again. Donald Trump has said that he wants to be a dictator the first day. And what do you think he's going to do that first day? But clear the path for the rest of his life. Maybe for his family, maybe make Don Jr. his follower, like the kings. Look what the Supreme Court is doing. Wake up, my friends. There is still time, but we gotta get a hitch in our get on. God bless you.